The next, 日本福祉 University from Japan and ミンダナオ国際大学 from the Philippines. Let's welcome them with a big hand.
Hello, my name is Ayo Nishi. I'm a freshman in the Faculty of International Welfare Development at Nihon Fushi University. This is Kie, and this is Ryo from Mindanao Kokusai Daigaku. Do you value communication with your family? We thought that there are some social problems caused by a lack of communication with family. We focused on stereotypes related to family communication in Japan and Philippines. We tried to figure out if that stereotype is true and what effect it has in society from the result of our survey.
Firstly, we will talk about the stereotypes of a Japanese family. Recently, we often hear the news about bullying and domestic violence. These issues are caused by the lack of communication with family. In Japan, people do not spend time with their families. And also, there's a wall between parents and the children. These kinds of things are the cause of less communication among family members. Then, how about the Philippines?
In the case of the Philippines, problems like suicide and abuse are not that serious as in Japan. We value the time spent with the family, and the children are open-minded towards their parents. There is a good relationship among family members. That is why we don't have much problems regarding domestic violence.
To see if our deduction is true or false, we conducted research using these three methods. We conducted a survey in both NFU students and MKD students to see how much they communicate with their family. And also, we asked their opinions about connection between family communication and the social problems. After we conducted the survey, we looked at data from the World Health Organization, Internal Affairs and Communications, and the National Police Agency. We are now moving on to the result of our survey. The first question is, do you have a conversation with your family? Please pay attention to the percentage of people who answered not at all. While the Philippines has known, there is 16% of people who answered not at all in Japan.
The second question is, are you positive about communication with your family? You can see from the graph that Filipinos are more positive about family communication. In the case of Japan, the percentage of people who are not positive about communicating with family is about 5 times more than the Philippines. According to the results on the Japanese side, many people think that bullying and suicide is serious problems in Japan. And they also said that one of the reasons for bullying and suicide is the lack of communication among family members.
We asked the Filipinos on what is the most serious social problem in the Philippines right now. And almost of them answered poverty and employment issues. As you can see in the graph, it almost accounted for 90% of the pie chart. We presume that Filipinos are communicating so well with their families. That is why there were fewer problems of bullying and suicide compared to Japan. And we also asked the Filipinos if do they think there are any social problems that are caused by a lack of communication with families. And 75% of them answered yes. There were many opinions, but a lot of them said that juvenile delinquency, suicide, depression, drug addiction, early pregnancy, and bullying are social problems caused by the lack of the communication.
Up to now, we have shown you the results of our own research. Well, does family communication really have a connection to social problems? Now, we'd like to focus on one of the serious problems, suicide. We will show you the statistics for Japan and the Philippines. The graph on the left-hand side shows the suicide rate. As you can see from the graph, Japan's death rate is about 20 times higher than the Philippines. Please look at the other graph. It shows the causes of suicide in Japan. Of the many causes, 14% of people committed suicide because of problems at home.
Now we would like to move on to the conclusion. Today we have talked about our stereotypes of families in both Japan and the Philippines. From our research, we showed that some stereotypes are true, and unfortunately, the lack of communication with family is one of the causes of the social problems. Stereotypes are often false or misleading generalizations. However, it was true in the cause of suicide. Generally speaking, people say Japan is a wealthy country, but is it real happiness? Isn't it real happiness if you have family who you can talk to when you have a hard time? Now, we know one of the causes of social problems. We have to do something.
Please look at the pie chart. The question is, does your family play an important role in your life? So almost all of them answered strongly agree or agree. This means that most of them knows that family is important in their life. So it is not yet too late to have a good relationship with your family. Try to show your gratitude to your family whenever you feel it. Let's start with something you can do with your daily life. Thank you for your kind attention.
Your presentation was informative. It is very important for us to spend time with our family. We are so impressed with your presentation. Teachers, do you have any questions or comments?
Hi, thank you very much for the interesting presentation. I think you spoke very nicely, man. The speed was very nice. And I think everybody could understand what you spoke, and the slides were good, very informative. Only thing I was wondering, like I had asked, you should do something. I thought you might come up with some suggestions at the end, which would make you very nice, that can help both Japan and Philippines with the stereotypical families to overcome their troubles or something, I don't know, a kind of. So that's the only point that may be missing. Maybe you can work on it later on. Thank you very much. Job well done. Thank you.